I love my Bible. I've spent years studying it and hundreds of dollars buying resources to enable me to study it. But if you don't have hundreds of resources or years to get into what the Bible's actually saying, then where do you go? First off, you need to understand that the Bible was not written in English. It wasn't even written in King James English. The Bible was written in Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic. There's some small portions of Aramaic in the Old Testament. And in order to understand what it means for us, we need to understand what it said to the people who wrote it and received it for the first time. And that means we need to understand what the Greek and Hebrew means. We need to understand the different versions of Greek and Hebrew we've got and how to make sense of that. And we need to understand a little bit about the culture of the time. So if you are someone who doesn't have lots of money or lots of time to study the Bible, where do you go and what can you trust in order to get to the heart of what the Bible's actually saying? I want to introduce you to the best free online Bible study tools. And when we all boil it down, there's actually only going to be one that I'll recommend. I've got 7 different online tools purporting to help you study the Bible. But as I said, only one of these I would actually recommend you take seriously, uh, particularly if you want to do it for free. The first 3 do provide good options if you're willing to pay a bit of money. But if not, well, I'll show you what I mean. BibleGateway.com has quite an impressive subscription model, but if you don't subscribe, this is what you get. Ads, lots of ads. And if you click on resources, you get lost in the ads. That is also true with Christianity.com. You can with them, I think you can get rid of some of these ads, but if you scroll to the bottom, you'll get some tools that I can't even see because of the ads that are getting in the road. And BibleStudyTools.com, bit of a theme here, more ads. They provide a subscription service and the ads disappear. And particularly BibleGateway.com has good resources if you're prepared to pay the monthly fee. But today we're looking at the best free tools online. So we're going to leave those 3 sites behind and take you to the online Greek Bible. This is a labor of love by the programmer. You're invited to help him by giving him some money or in other ways, I guess, but that invitation's there at the bottom of the screen, but that's the only ad you get. And you can type any Greek or any New Testament passage into here, and I've started with John 1:1. And what you'll see, you can then click on any word here, and you get both English translation and there's the word logos. So you click on that, and you get the meaning of the word, but also the case number and gender, because Greek, like Spanish and French, has gendered terms. And you'll see all the different places in the Bible this word is used. This is a really helpful tool if you're just trying to work out, okay, what is behind this? But if you don't know any Greek, this might be of interest, but you will quickly lose interest because while there's a lot of information there, it'll bend your brain, and you can only do this for so much. So the top 3 free online Bible tools are these. Number 3 is Bible Hub. What I appreciate about Bible Hub is a whole range of tools here, including a parallel Bible where you can see all the different translations and how they render John 1:1. There's study tools and a study Bible. They have a whole bunch of different things there. I particularly like the interlinear version where you can see the Greek and the English and how it all works together. And if you're at all interested in studying behind the text, then this is great. Again, you can press on the word logos and up comes a concordance. What you need to understand with both this resource and the one I'm going to show you next is most of the resources they are showing you are old, uh, sometimes hundreds of years old, because they are in the public domain and you don't have to pay for them. It's a useful tool. It's a good place to start. Again, there's some ads, but the Bible Hub has a range of good tools that are old but are a great starting point. Uh, they have a range of commentaries. Again, I would really encourage you not to use any of the commentaries here on Bible Hub, because they are all out of copyright, and that means they're all really old. And biblical studies have come so far in the last 50 years with so many archaeological finds and the way things have developed. I would encourage you not to rely too heavily on some of these older documents. They may be of interest, but I'd encourage you not to rely too heavily on them. So that's Bible Hub, a great tool. Another tool that is also very useful is the Blue Letter Bible. Again, this is my number 2 tool. I still don't recommend it because it suffers from the same challenge that the Bible Hub suffers from, and that is that it really relies on old documents and old translations and even old versions of the Greek and the Hebrew. But similarly to the Bible Hub, you can bring up any text, and like this is how it brings up John 1:1, and then you can see under that there's a whole range of ways you can work out, okay, what does that mean? And then you got the English, the King James Version in the beginning, and then you get the Strong's number. Strong's is a way of referencing Greek and Hebrew, and you can just look at any text in the Bible, and you can see what is behind the English there. But really, I want to take you. These are the many people use these tools and really like them. But I want to take you to the one tool that I recommend to everybody, and it is the Net Bible. It is, in my view, the best free tool available for Bible study on the internet. Why do I say that? Well, the Net Bible translation itself is not bad. One of the things I like about it, there was a team of about 25 translators who went through the process very transparently and had all their decisions available for everybody to explore. And they've just recently updated to the Net Bible version 2. Net stands for the New English Translation. But really, the beauty of the Net Bible isn't so much the translation, but over here, the notes. And they have 3 kinds of notes. SN stands for study notes. And they help you get behind the text to understand the context and the environment and what these ideas are really probably mean in that time and that place. They also show you where they get their ideas from. They have a lot of get their understandings from. They quote the resources. BDAG is probably the most respected Greek lexicon available. There is also, so that's the study notes, translation notes, where they tell you, so this is, what are we looking at here? Verse 3, you have both a study note and a translation note. So here in verse 3, and what it tells you is where the translation could go one way or another, it explains that and why the translators choose this over that. And this is really important because no version of the English Bible completely captures the context and intent of the original Greek or Hebrew. Speaking of Hebrew, we can just flick to the Old Testament here, and you'll see that we get the Hebrew. You still have the translation notes, TN, and you still have the study notes that are SN, but you also, both in the Greek and Hebrew, have these TC notes. They are the textual critical notes that tell you about the different texts we have, the different historical documents. Let me take you back to John and I'll show you what I mean. I love this. What it does is it puts the understanding of the Bible as a historical document front and center, and helps us understand we follow a faith that is based in history, not just based in ideology. So I think it's about here, 45. Where are we? If we go down, yeah, here we go. And can you see the textual critical notes? It says the textual problem, and it unpacks the Greek there, and it goes down. And what it will do, it'll say these are the particular documents. And one of the things to understand about the historical biblical documents is they all have codes. And these codes you can look up in just Google them and you'll find the code, and you'll find what specific documents these codes relate to. And so what it's saying is these ancient documents say this and these ancient documents say that, but here is why we think that this is probably the best way to do it. So it's all out there in the open. That is so helpful about the Net Bible. Those three things, the study notes, the textual critical notes, and the translation notes are worth the price of admission, but it doesn't stop there. If you then click on, in the New Testament, on the Greek, look what happens. You click on an English word, like for me, and I'll go up here, and you'll see what happens is it actually comes up, the word where it says this one, it comes up here. And if you want to click on the Greek word, it comes up, it highlights the English word. And not only that, so if we go back up to, I love this, where are we? On John 1. I know exactly where we go. That's the end of Luke. So let's finish Luke. Jesus makes an appearance. And so in the beginning was the Word. And so here, if I click on the word word, it comes up and it's highlighted there. And not only that is it highlighted, it then has the meaning of the Greek. This is just such a gift that if for those of us, like I studied a very small amount of the original languages, and I do not consider myself an expert at all. But a tool like this helps people like you and I to get behind the English and to understand that what they call the semantic range, the whole breadth of what a word might mean. So that is there. They've got the notes, you've got the Greek, and then in addition to that, under the notes, you've got Constable's notes. Constable's notes are more reliable than some of the older documents, but they are from a guy from the Dallas Theological Seminary. They come from a dispensational approach. They're quite detailed, useful notes, but you need to understand they come from a dispensational, probably premillennial way of seeing the world. So that's just the lens they're coming through. So it provides fairly modern, like 80s, 90s notes, as well as the net notes. There's space for your own notes. And then they have space for, you get behind the names, and you can get maps and articles. And all of this is free. This, hands down, is the best free Bible study tool on the internet, bar none. It is the equivalent of resources you pay thousands of dollars for. And I'm not overstating that. This is such a gift that the Bible.org organization, and I'm not sure who's funding this, but as you've seen with these other ones, where they'll want to fill your mind with all kinds of weird ads before they give you anything and ask for your money. What is an incredible gift about the netbible.org is it's all absolutely free, all absolutely usable, And for all of us, it is the best way to go. If you want to find free Bible study resources, because as I've said, most other free Bible study resources are way out of date and shouldn't be relied on too heavily. I hope that's helpful. I love the Bible. I love the fact we serve a God who has superintended the process of the word being available to us. And I love that we have a faith that is based in history. So we don't need to be scared of the archaeology, of the textual critical discussions, because it is the truth and the truth sets us free. I really encourage you. You'll find there are apps available, and the New English Translation Bible is available on a whole lot of other platforms too. But this is the best and most accessible way to get to it through its web interface, and it's available for free for everybody.